Yeah, hi there. These comments are for MM, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. Let's take a look at your situation. So, you say, I'm writing this letter to get your opinion about increasing my speaking score from 22 to 23 or 24. I recently took the TOEFL exam and my scores were reading 21, listening 19, speaking 22. I've attached my voice. Please help me to enhance my speaking from 22 to 23 or 24 during 1 month. Let's take a look at the independent and integrated speaking rubrics to get more of an idea of why the TOEFL IBT raters gave you the score they did. Okay, so looking at independent here, so delivery, you're a little bit below the 3 here. So 3.0 is going to put you right around 23 points out of 30. So you're just below that here. Okay, so it says here, speech is intelligible, though listener effort is needed. You sometimes have awkward intonation, choppy rhythm or pace, and then meaning may be obscured. So sometimes it's difficult to understand you because of your pronunciation problems. Okay, also possibly you have limited range and control of grammar and vocabulary. That might be causing some trouble. And also you express basic ideas with limited elaboration or details and support. Sometimes you have repetition or a connection of ideas may be unclear. So these are some reasons why you might be scoring below 3. For integrated, ditto or the same thing applies on delivery language use. Let's look at topic development here. So you may have an incomplete or inaccurate response. You might be omitting key ideas or making an unclear reference to certain ideas in either reading or listening passages. It says an inaccurate response demonstrates misunderstanding of key ideas. Typically, ideas expressed may not be well connected or cohesive, so that familiarity with the stimulus is necessary to follow what is being discussed, which means if I haven't read the reading passage or I have not listened to the conversation or the lecture, I might not be able to understand what you're saying. Okay, I'm getting ready to listen to your practice test right now. So you're doing TOEFL Practice Online number 43. And I think based on how you're answering the prompt, you did not send me the speaking prompt, but I think it's, do you want to be a famous and rich person? Why or why not? Give reasons and details to support your opinion. I think that's the speaking prompt, right? Okay, so let's listen to it. I'm looking at the rubrics right now, and we're going to try to figure out what's going on here. And I'm going to listen to your practice test one time, making no comments at all. Then the second time, I'll listen to it and make more comments, and we can probably figure out what's going on with your speaking.
I think I would have to say that I'm actually quite keen on being famous and rich person because of different reasons. First of all, being a famous person is really good because people respect you and they talk about you, and it is really important situation. On top of that, I can also add that being rich is really important because you can help poor people all around the world, and you can have your own charity organization. In addition to this, you can buy whatever you want and you can do whatever you want, and it is really important for everyone, and I think I am not an exception. And that is why I believe that being famous and rich is really important in these worlds and in today's economic situation.
Okay, so I think the question, I'm going to rephrase it. So do you think it's important to be a famous and rich person in today's society? Why or why not? Give reasons to support your opinion. Okay, let's go again. So yeah, I can see why it's kind of close. I mean, your speaking is not terrible, but I see where you're not really elaborating on the ideas that you're expressing. And I think you tried to cover 3 ideas or 3 details, but you didn't give any specific information to support those points.
I think I would have to say that I'm actually...
Okay, first of all, I think I would have to say, I wouldn't say any of that. Just say, I agree. It's important to be a rich person in today's world, and then explain why.
Quite keen on being famous and rich person because of different reasons. First,
Instead of saying because of different reasons, if you want to be a little bit more focused in your ideas here, you can state what the two reasons are. So you might say, well, because I can get more respect from other people, I can help poor people, it is important to be a famous and rich person in today's society, right? So you need a more specific topic statement, and that makes it easier to organize the body of your response, and then you can make your connections a little more clear.
of all, being a famous person is really good because people respect you and they
You're saying people respect you, so that's another problem. That's a language use issue. You need to focus this on your own personal experiences and your own examples. So there's no need to use that you point of view. So I suggest for independent and integrated speaking, and even writing for that matter, don't use the you point of view, that second person singular point of view. In this case, you should be using the first person, the I, the me or the my, or maybe the third person point of view to explain your ideas.
talk about you, and it is really important situation. On top of that, I can also add that being rich is
No, see, you mentioned that first idea, but you don't give any specific detail to support that. That's why in the two range, it says mostly basic ideas are expressed with limited elaboration or details and support. So you need to provide more supporting detail for your ideas.
really important because you can help poor people all around the world, and you can have your own charity organization in addition to this.
You want to say not charity, I would say charitable organization there. So use an adjective instead of a noun to modify that word or organization.
You can buy whatever you want, and you can do.
Now, see, this is your mistake. You're bringing up too many ideas. You're trying to bring up three reasons, but you're not providing any specific detail for any of those reasons. So your ideas, you don't have enough depth and thought to what you're saying.
Whatever you want, and it is really important for everyone, and I think I am not an exception, and that is why I
Now, at this point, say, for example, if I'm famous and rich, if I want to live by the beach, I would. Notice I'm saying would there. You're talking about a present and possible condition. So if you're using personal experience, that's going to require some past tense verbs and some modals to talk about present and possible situations. And by doing that, you're demonstrating good language use, and at the same time, you're giving an example from your own experience. So you say, well, if I am famous, or if I were famous and rich, I would be able to buy a house close to the beach. For example, right now I live in California, and maybe I could move to Newport Beach and buy a fairly nice house that might cost $1 or $2 or $3 million or something.
I believe that being famous and rich is really important in these worlds and in today economic situation.
Okay, so I think in order for you to do better and to go back to your email here, you need to improve in a few areas. With delivery, delivery is not terrible. You can pronounce most words correctly, so I think you're doing a pretty good job there. One improvement I think you can make is maybe with intonation, try to vary your tone more. I think you're probably scoring 22 points, probably more because of language use and topic development areas. So with topic development, I already gave you some suggestions. You maybe limit your response to 2 reasons and not 3, and then be very specific in the examples you're giving to help make your argument or help support your argument there. You see what I'm saying? In language use, the main thing here is you need to focus more, I think, on the first and the third person points of view, not the second person point of view. And then you need to use more advanced structures. In this case, you could have used what we call subjunctive, maybe present or past subjunctive. Subjunctive is if I were rich, I would, or if I were famous, I would be able to. And then you frame everything from that tone. It's called a present and possible type tone. And that would more clearly express the ideas you're saying. But you may not even know that, how to do that. I don't know. That might not even be part of your grammar right now. All right, so I can see why they might have scored you at 22 points instead of 23. So there you go. So I would probably put you in the high 2, low 3. I would put you between 22 and 23 points out of 30. So to go back to your email here, give me a quick second. So the answer here is yes, I can certainly help you to improve your speaking. And guess what? I can actually help you improve your reading, your listening, and your speaking, and even your writing if you need it. So my recommendation for you is pretty simple. I'm going to recommend my TOEFL Speaking Bootcamp course for you. I think it's possible in 30 days that you can move from 22 to 23, but you got to promise me, if you become one of my online TOEFL students, you must practice. Absolutely. And you got to follow my suggestions that I give you, because I will help you get better, but you have to actually do the practice if you want to improve. All right? So in this email, I will put a link to my TOEFL Speaking Bootcamp course. It's on discount right now. It's $99 for 30 days access. And you can send me speaking practice every day. Here is my rule though. You can use TPO, no problem, but I don't want you to be deceived here. You can send me 60 seconds of speaking practice every day like you did today, and I will give you comments. You cannot send me all 6 tasks in one day. I have a lot of students, and I cannot provide all that kind of feedback. So the basic rule is, yes, you can do TPO. Yes, you can do practice from my online TOEFL course. And I will provide you feedback kind of like what I did here. And I'll even recommend specific lessons to help you get better. For example, based on your response that you just did, I would recommend speaking lesson number 2 in my online course. That'll give you some ideas on how you can create a more focused topic statement. I also think you need to take a look at my speaking lesson number 7, which is it'll teach you how to be more coherent in your speaking tasks. Those are at least 2 lessons I recommend right now. I also have another lesson in the grammar part of my course. It's called Choosing the Appropriate Point of View. For example, you're choosing the first and the second person point of view, but you don't need the second person point of view, which is why I would recommend that lesson. And that'll give you some practice on how you can eliminate using the second person point of view and then focus more on the first and the third. All right, does that make sense? All right, so if you want to join my course, you can join it whenever you're ready to start your speaking practice.